Boom. Yeah. You couldn't have timed
Live
that better,
from New
Matt.
York.
There we
It's
go.
night.
What are you saying there, Elliot?
I get my days mixed up. I said live from New York. It's Saturday night. I'm practicing.
Yeah. You know what? You know what that's. Well, here, wait. Let me do the intro, and then I'll get my comment on that. Hello there, out there, world. It's Brian Sapinski over here at Lost Silver Productions. It is Wednesday night. Little something different. I'll explain why in a minute. November 16th, 2016. We're ready for another edition of Game Show Talkin' Fun. And as I was just explaining to the guys here, the reason why we're doing this tonight instead of our usual Friday schedule is because if you have been following us on the convention attention side, the guys and us have a show coming up this weekend in Edison, New Jersey at New Jersey Comic Con. We're going to be playing Card Sharks and Trump Card for them between Saturday and Sunday. And we figured it'd be a little too much if we tried to go 3 days in a row with stuff. So we're doing it a little early this week just to kind of give yeah, right. Yeah, you hear Bray in the background. Yeah, mix things up, give ourselves a little breathing space and things like that. So I don't know where Paul went. I'll have to try to dig him up or whatever. And Scott won't be here because he has no Wi-Fi. So, but I do have joining us here a couple of our good friends in the game show circles. We have the master of Press Your Luck Slides, Elliot Schiff. Good to have you, Elliot.
Hello, a.k.a. Mountain Hawk.
Yes, Mountain Hawk PYL, if anybody wants to try to find him anywhere. And our good friend Matthew Wojcik has joined us once again. Good to see you again, Matt.
Yeah, if you guys miss Scott, I can beat Scott because I have a black.
No! Don't do that. Yeah, you don't know half the story. There's been some things going on. Well, that's another conversation for another time off the air. So go. Here comes the invasion. Will you sit and do your spelling homework? So crazy. All right, so we'll get. So anyway, we'll get to our.
I see two of them. They multiply.
Yes, Joey always likes to sit and see himself on camera. He loves to try to do that. So anyway, we'll get into our main discussion, our main topic. Gone in 13 weeks. We'll start talking about that in a little bit. But first, we're going to get into our usual smash or trash business. Decided to save it from this past weekend because the couple of items. Like I said, we got a short week we're running this week, so things actually has it just been me, guys, or have things seemed a little slow in the game show world recently in terms of major news?
I think we've been paying too much attention to the political side of life in this past couple of years that all attention has been lost in the game show world. I think maybe now that that's pretty much nearly done over with, we should be seeing more attention in the future.
Gotcha. Well, hey, no, that's a reasonable observation to me anyway. So then though, but we do have a couple of items to discuss here. Probably the biggest news to come out of the past week, because it was just announced a couple of days ago, the announcement of NBC's new show, The Wall, which that's the new show that LeBron James is producing. It finally just got its announcement as to when it's going to be debuting. What are you guys doing down there? Yeah. Okay, you relax. Come on. All right. The Wall's going to be debuting on Tuesday, January 3rd. There's going to be a couple of preview episodes that'll air during the Christmas holiday, however. So, and from what I've read here about this description, let's see. Just to have the breakdown for those unfamiliar with this, The Wall will offer a pair of deserving teammates, not necessarily married couples, however, life-altering cash prizes. rules are simple. Get a question correct, and a green ball will fall down the wall, which I've seen the pictures, looks like a giant pachinko kind of thing, will fall down the wall and add the value of the slot to the player's winning total. Miss a question, and an ominous red ball will fall and deduct the value from the team. Teammates have to work together to build a huge cash prize, but so millions are supposedly capable on any given night. And as the game progresses, the stakes get even higher. When one player on the team is sent into an isolation room behind the wall, it's there that the pair's faith in each other will be tested as the teammates play the remainder of the game without any communication. So
you're going to play Plinko for a chance to win up to $12 million.
It sounds like a variation of what was that one? The William Shatner one. Show me the money, or you get it right, you add the value. If you get it wrong, you subtract the value.
Right.
So they decided to take the same game and twist it around. Hey, no thanks. I use toilet paper. They didn't try to.
No need for sudden salsa breaks this time.
Yes.
So exactly. But overall, though, Elliot. So what do you think of the of this wall idea? You think this is going to end up being a smash or trash? Make an early prediction.
Well, given that it's pretty much the same, you have an outrageous celebrity host.
Right, that's right, because Chris Hardwick's going to be hosting.
You got LeBron James as the producer, so that's already, you got a lot of outrageousness there already. And on top of that, you have two team players that are good chance of arguing instead of actual game. This is going to be one of those drag-on Millionaire games that I've seen before. I don't see it going very far. But it's not one of those. The game has to move to keep it popular.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so your early prediction is a trash for the moment. Then I take it.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Someone
Well,
standing upside.
Yes. Paul, our man Paul Williams has joined us here, and okay, yeah. All right. Paul's trying to fix his camera there because he came in on the chat window there upside down. While he's fixing himself here, Matt. Yeah, you take your turn. Smash or trash early prediction on the wall.
Well, if you're asking evolution or de-evolution, we have a de-evolution here, as if you notice in recent years, we've been going back to just simple games with simple stakes, or really moderate, like $100,000 pyramid, match game has $25,000, Hollywood game night, win up to $25,000, and now we're going back to a chance to win millions of dollars, and chances are we're just going to have the sob stories going at a very slow pace and cutting to commercials just when the ball is inches away from the bottom.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Well, there's going to be something I'll discuss about that in there when we get into the main topic. I have an angle on that in a sense. But
imagine if Price is Right took a commercial while the Plinko chip was dropping, and that's what you're going to see. Trash.
Not going for this one. That's interesting enough there. All right, let's see. Paul, everything working there?
Otherwise, no. I can talk audibly though. That's about it.
Okay, you can hear all of us, right?
I can hear you guys. I can definitely hear you guys.
Yeah. Are you on the floor or the ceiling?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
Are you on the floor or the ceiling?
Ha ha ha! Right now I'm on the floor. Webcam is making it look like I'm on the ceiling.
Yeah. What happened there? That your camera was turned upside down there.
It's a laptop webcam, and I never really bothered to properly install stuff for it. So yeah.
That would actually be pretty interesting, since this is only since this is in the tradition of Game Show Talking Fun. This is usually one of our more upside down shows when we have this topic. It would actually be pretty appropriate if you kept the camera on and stayed upside down. Probably even more. Yeah, probably even more appropriate if this was our April Fool's show, but that's another story. Hey, there we go.
I actually have a Press Your Luck tile set that everything's upside down. Even the Fresh Look logo is upside down. I was always considering putting an episode up on April Fool's like that, but never bothered to do it. I call the round pineapple cake because it's
Gotcha.
down.
Gotcha.
Maybe this April I'll put it up on YouTube.
What the hey? We'll see what happens. So anyway, Paul. Since you're getting the drop on us, so to speak, or whatever, what's your early prediction on the wall for NBC in January? I'm
iffy on it. It kind of sounds. I know NBC is trying to get back into the game shows. They're seeing that ABC is having it, and of course CBS still has the daytime price, and let's make a deal with the evening specials. But it's just a weird way about going about it. That's all I can tell you to take it out from it.
Well, I'll say this: they seem to be, especially in terms of the previews, they seem to be keeping up their trends from past years with things like Deal or No Deal, and what were the other terrible ones that they did? Who's Still Standing and
It's Worth What?
Why can't I remember? Oh yeah, that's right. Take It All. That's right. Those things. They seem to like to wanna work with the Christmas season to try to bring it in, see if that draws the viewers and stuff like that. So, okay, yes, that's true. Brianna wants to make her prediction on the wall. What are you thinking?
I actually think it'll be Cushy, and for those of you that do not speak Italian, it means so.
Yes, she loves using that word any chance she gets. So.
My favorite Italian word, actually.
For the most part, it's the only Italian word you use.
What's the Italian word? I didn't hear it. What's the Italian word? I didn't hear it.
There you go. All right. So yeah, but I agree with you, Matt. Though on one thing that you said that NBC, and it started with Deal or No Deal, and was especially at its worst with Minute to Win It. Yeah, the idea that you were saying about that. In the most key dramatic moment or things like that or whatever, just when all the action's really about to superstar. Oh, we're gonna cut to commercial break and make you wait for it. And yeah, if they go to pull that, that's gonna get agonizing after a while.
And
yeah, worse, he does it. They just cut to the commercial in post production.
Yep.
Yeah,
and even worse is that they'll say, coming up, and then they're going to show you scenes 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's even worse.
That's even more annoying. No, I want to see it in sequence. Don't
spoil it for us.
Don't spoil it. Let us see what happens as it happens.
I blame on whoever was the producer of those shows, because it seems as though America's Chase, Deal or No Deal, It's Worth What, all seem to have the same direction, going on ahead and saying, include this, so cause people to come back. No. None of ABC shows did that. None of CBS's shows have to do that, other than Drew's mentioning, oh, hey, we'll come back and we'll be spinning the big show, just doing the Showcase Showdown right after this. Nobody needs any of that stuff. Not even in the original of the shows do you see clips of upcoming segments. It's no, we just want to watch it. But NBC seems to go on ahead and jump on the gun of, oh no, this is going to make people come back in for the next act. No, it's not.
No, it's just basically going to give away the outcome is what it's going to do. Yeah, and NBC's not the only ones that are guilty of that. So we'll get into that next week.
Fox too.
Yeah,
that's smarter than a fifth grader.
We'll see where that goes.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that it's always that one or two directors or editors that insist on doing it. I would not be surprised if the person who edited Deal or No Deal and say Dear Sends the Chase, I will not be surprised if they're the same person.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry about that. Joey needs some milk. Okay, so we got that there. All right. Well. Hopefully, it's been a few years since NBC's had any game shows on in the first place. They haven't really done anything since Who's Still Standing. So maybe, hopefully.
Hollywood Game Night.
Which one?
Hollywood Game Night.
Oh, that's true. That's right. Hollywood Game Night. I forgot. Which thankfully they don't. At least the spoilers in that don't give too much away and stuff like that. And at least it's, I don't know. Maybe it cushions the blow when it's something comedic. Maybe that's just me. But
see, those kind of breaks are perfectly fine. It's just that it's when they reveal stuff that's going to happen or stuff that could happen. That's where it gets annoying.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens with that. But hey, well, like I said, we'll see how the preview looks on December 19th before the full series starts on January 3rd. So with any luck, we'll.
So we'll see the pilot episode.
Well, again, it's not necessarily a pilot. They're just taking one of the episodes that's been taped, and again, they're showing it ahead of the premiere. Again, just to try to draw viewers in early. It's not specifically a pilot episode.
One more thing I'd like to add is that apparently, according to Buzzer Blog, this series was taped apparently a year ago, and the fact that they're holding it onto it for this long doesn't give me any confidence.
Ooh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, that's definitely not good. That's definitely going to decrease expectations that they sat on it for this much time or whatever. That's like what ABC did with $1 Million Mind Game again. But it seemed like we keep getting ahead of ourselves in terms of tonight's topic.
The $1 Million Mind Game, that was a great game. They just never put it on a good time slot. That was actually, I really loved that game.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we'll get into that as part of the
that was more
the main discussion.
Yes, that was more of a PBS type show. When the questions they asking, how they got to it. That was more aimed at a PBS audience.
We'll see. I mean, no, it's an interesting logic in there. I never thought of it that way. But
for British TV, they have higher standards for some of their games. I mean, you've seen.
Save your comments for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves there, or whatever. All right, so we got that.
Like only connect and
right.
only connect and
easy. Elliot, take it easy. Yeah. Take it easy. Relax. We're good. Okay, all right. No, stop. Come on. I gotta move along. All right. So anyway, so we got that covered. All right. So let's see. We got next week, guys. The big week. The wait is finally over. So this is just a little quick thing here. Who's looking forward next week to the big Double Dare 30th anniversary special and the Legends of the Hidden Temple movie?
Me.
I'm more looking forward to the Legends of the Hidden Temple, to be honest.
How so?
Not for nothing, but it's just like. I get what Nickelodeon and the Splat are trying to do, but it's just like they're shoehorning everything in. Like, I would much appreciate this more if it wasn't just a limited run series, but rather a full, revival. I don't know what they did in.
Believe me, everybody wants a full revival. We know that.
Right. Like even if it's with a different host, I would not mind just like the opening steps towards that.
Interesting.
As opposed to the movie, it's like this isn't so much a revival, but this is something entirely different. Like we've seen, I was just literally looking it up the other day. We've seen game shows built from games. We've seen Carmen Sandiego turn it into a PC game into an actual game show. We've seen game shows turn into actual video games, but we've never seen anybody say, "Let's take a game show and just turn it into a movie." Like this is
that is true, yeah.
This is more or less like breaking ground, like for as far as learning is concerned. So I'm more akin to seeing how they're going to do it to the movie, especially with all the hype that Kirk Fogg and so forth was talking about. Like, it's bringing back all those elements from the show. This is really going to be. I'm really more interested in seeing how that comes together than anything.
True, that does seem fair. Matt, you in agreement on that, or?
Well, I mean, it's really the Double Dare special that I'm looking more forward to, especially with all the hype it had at San Diego Comic-Con last summer. And
Right.
really it'll just be more of a celebration rather than an attempt to relaunch it. It'll be fun. I mean, Legends of the Hidden Temple, the movie, I'm still on the fence about. I don't know if it's really going to be, shoehorning a lot of references in, kind of like, and not really having any context to the original product, like the Gem and the Holograms movie. And next thing you know, we'll be looking forward to Family
And that's
Feud.
probably going to be the only time ever that Gem and the Holograms ever gets mentioned on a show like this.
Yeah.
But
Next thing
that could just be me.
Next thing you know, we'll be playing basketball.
Oh, ouch.
Really? Really?
I say we could do it.
Yes, so really for Double Dare, I smash Legends of the Hidden Temple. Still mysterious, but I trash.
Okay. So there we go there. And Elliot, which one are you looking more forward to?
Well, of all the ones that I heard you talk about of this set, Double Dare was the only one I was actually around to see, as far as I was like 16 or 17 when that show first came out. So all the other things are 90s show. I'm in college. I'm like too old for this stuff anyway.
You're never too old for this stuff.
I mean, as far as
what have we learned all these years?
Yeah, well, also I was living under a rock as far as TV goes, from like 1990 to 96. So the only thing I saw was Star Trek and The Simpsons, and maybe a few episodes of Jeopardy here and there. That's just because I was in college and I was hanging out with other people doing actual things. This is long before the internet and all that other nifty stuff.
Yeah, myself, when Double Dare went off the air, I was 3, and that's when Legends came on the air, so it's too young to watch.
Double Dare, I saw it as 7. I was already 17, so I couldn't actually be on the show, and I was smarter than all the kids there.
Yeah.
I even had the winning strategy. I figured it out like very early. And if you don't know what the winning strategy is, first of all, never get yourself caught into being double dared. The only thing is, if you have the question for 10 points, either answer it or get it wrong. But if you think your opponent can't answer it, you dare them, they're guaranteed to dare you back. And now you got the same question for 40 points. You get your 40 instead of the 10. Isn't that?
And we saw plenty of teams and families
I saw a couple
invoke that strategy.
It took a while, but it took a while to see the first team do that. Now, if you ever watched the 1,000,000-second quiz, my brother, I told my brother that strategy early on when Double Dare was on. My brother took that strategy when he played 1,000,000-second quiz, and I got caught him doing it. He says, "No way, that's what we did for Double Dare."
Oh yeah, no, and a lot of people thought the same thing about that. But definitely worthy of making a note of. But yeah, no, I'll be honest. I'm looking forward to both of them. Naturally, of course, I'm looking more forward to Double Dare, since that one's gonna have a true game show feel and retrospective. But yeah, it'll be curious to see the Legends special and things like that. I'll be curious just because I mean the commercials and previews have offered plenty of ideas as to how they're going to reference certain things. But I'll admit I'll be curious to see like how it all flows together and stuff like that, and just to also get the perspective of if this is supposed to be the ultimate version of the temple, exactly what the layout is going to be. And I'm sure that in itself is going to invoke a lot of questions. Oh, why wasn't this room in there? Why did they use that room? Why is the Shrine of the Silver Monkey over here when it should? You're going to have your nitpickers.
You're going to have your mega fans that I think as far as producers go, they'd rather insult 1,000 people than bring them but bring $1 million in, so their net gain is 990,000.
Yeah, I know. That's
forget about the 1,000.
That's just the lands of trolling. That's what it is, pure and simple.
They're more interested in getting the 990,000 new viewers as opposed to keeping the 1,000 loyalists.
Of course, those thousands are only going to type in capital letters on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Hopefully in excitement, but
okay.
And Brianna, which are you looking more forward to? Because she knows both shows well enough, thanks to plenty of YouTube watching and things like that. But which one are you looking more forward to?
I'm looking forward to both of them, but if I had to pick, it will actually be Legends of the Hidden Temple, because it's actually more fun, because
Well, what makes it more fun for you?
Because there's all different kinds of teams, and it will be fun if you mix up the rooms, so it's a surprise of what rooms if in a different spot and what rooms in the same spot, and still where the temple cards are. We still don't know.
Yeah, how they're gonna work that out is gonna be its own adventure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm more curious into seeing the movie.
Well, hey, you got it from Nickelodeon's core audience. So hey, we'll see how everything plays out. But we'll be watching them both. Make no mistake. All right. Okay. Our last little thing of the week here. Let me see, Paul. In spite of your upside down appearance, how well do you have the ability to do the links and stuff like that?
I should be able to still do them. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hold it right upside down and hold up a card?
But the question is, will it come up upside down?
Just a matter of...
Gotcha. I'm throwing you something on the side that came up last week. This is just for amusement and stuff. However, I want to dig up this clip because I want to get people's takes on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The Jeopardy Teen Tournament?
Yes, we know right now the Jeopardy Teen Tournament is in full swing right now, and one of the early preliminary matches that took place late last week produced another one of those classic Final Jeopardy blooper answer moments. I don't even know if you could call it a blooper. This is just one of those that, hey, I don't know the answer, so if I'm going to go down, I'm at least going down with a laugh. So, and I don't know if either of you guys, did you guys see the incident that we're talking about?
What day was that one on?
Did you ever tell your...
I think it was on Thursday. I think it took place last week. Okay, he's got the
No.
All right, so he's got the clip. He's got the clip there. All right. So you can see the clue. All right, roughly half the size of Texas, it's the largest structure made by living creatures that can even be seen from space.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know what the answer is.
And the one girl, she wasn't able to come up with the answer. So, in a fit of just trying to be cute and just have fun in the moment, what are those? and just look at her face. She's just like, hi, yes. It's like, no, that's not. And Alex Floyd, nope, not gonna work. So
I had to look up the reference because I didn't know it.
Oh, so did I. I had no clue what it was about either. I didn't even know it was already a couple of years old. Yes. No, not now. Okay, all right.
Is that you're a math teacher?
Yes, I know. I've mentioned it several times, I think. Okay, can you go inside? All right, can you go inside? We gotta do this here. Yeah, but no, I didn't even realize that that reference is already like a year and a half old, or whatever the case is. And as soon as
I didn't even know what it was. I had to look it up.
Yeah, and even then, when I looked at it, I'm trying to figure out. Wait, so it's just video. It's just a string of people just pointing their video cameras at people's shoes.
Yep.
I'm just making sure I understand this correctly.
Well, I thought
mean,
it was something from. When I looked it up, I thought it was something from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's the most obscure reference since Keyboard Zella.
well, at least people understand the Keeper Zeller reference. They at least get that show because you can see Alex Trebek spelled backwards in that. So that,
Oh yeah,
so that one, but
that one I knew. I saw that one. I knew about.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's just weird though. But here, Matt, I'll just ask you, real quick while I step off the camera for a second. In general, when that moment, took place, what were your initial hang on, we actually lost Matthew there for a second. I'm sorry. Okay, here, Paul, throw the question to you. When you saw the moment in question, what was your initial reaction?
I knew what the joke was. I was just like, well, that's one way to go out. Just have fun with it. Screw it. And like I have to explain to people, they get money no matter what. Like in Jeopardy, you no longer go home with I don't know if it's always been a rule that you don't go home with nothing, but you go home with something now. So it's like in tournament play, you get slightly more than you would in the actual get more than you would in the actual normal tournament game. So I'm just like, it is what it is. Just, yeah.
Do you find this one is more infamous than Who Are Three People Who've Never Been in My Kitchen?
I find it better than the Force, who is Turd Ferguson, when that came up a couple years ago.
Oh, that was
the Ballad of Turd Ferguson. Oh, jeez. Yes.
I'm just shocked that Alex didn't get the joke, but then again, I know he's not really. The reports go around that he's not really. I don't want to say sociable, but he's not really like in like watching. Like he doesn't go home and watch TV and go online to the internet. He just goes home and reads. And he's kind of like a quiet kind of guy. So I'm like, okay, I kind of can see why nobody got it, but the fact that somebody did go up and say, yes, I'm doing this, is funny.
Well, I don't think he's really a quiet guy. I met Alex Trebek in person, and he's not exactly the quiet guy. And he's more he's always outdoorsy and kind of things. He's always advertising all those trips and going to them. He does a lot of stuff in Africa in the off season. Based back a couple decades ago, he was, and
selling Colonial Pen.
Yeah, that was much later.
Yeah, I've seen.
And I have
told you guys.
Oh, there you are, Matt.
Yeah, I don't
Perfect
think I
time.
told you guys this, but I did.
I got this.
What do you got there? Wait, what is that you got there, Elliot?
Come on.
Wait.
Oh, that's his autograph.
Oh, what is that autograph in? What is that, a program or?
Encyclopedia of TV games.
In the first one. Oh, okay.
Yes, it's the first. It's the first edition. I opened it to the Jeopardy article. I said, aren't you glad I didn't open it up to Wizard of Oz and had you sign there?
Jeez, yeah, and probably fitting you brought the encyclopedia out because I know it's been a week or so now, wherever it came. Yeah, it's actually been close to 2 weeks now since we lost Fred Wasbrook, one of the writers of the game show Encyclopedia, as well as the agent for all the big hosts in the business. Yeah, I wanted to actually be able to have a piece or be able to say something with regards to Fred, but it was a little difficult for all of us to do it, mainly because of the fact that, like, unlike some of the guys that we know out west, like Travis Shario and Adam Needham and stuff like that, we didn't have any any personal connection to Fred. Believe me, we would have liked to have it, and I think if we had it, would have been able to pay tribute a little bit easier. But yeah, but definitely it's been it's been a bit of sadness recently in the the game show fan base, knowing that the guy who's been representing all of the classic hosts for for so many years, up until a couple weeks ago, it's been tough, but we remember Fred, and we all love him and stuff like that. And those of you that have Buzzer out there, they still are going to have their Game Changers special coming up soon in the weeks to come. And I know that they did some interview bits with Fred for that. So if you have Buzzer, be sure to look at that and just listen to how Fred talks about and reveres the game show world. You're really getting a better appreciation for it listening to it from him. So that's about the best I can say there. So, all right. So that's gonna close out the Smash or Trash segment. So now let's get into our main topic. Now, this is another one of those topics that if any of you out there ever listens to our old radio podcast with Game Show Talkin' Fun back in the Blog Talk Radio days, and the archives are still up there, so you can find it, blogtalkradio.com/GSTAF. All those old episodes are still there. One of the things that one of the recurring episodes that we liked to do quite a bit back then was around Thanksgiving. We used to have the concept of what we called game show turkeys, which was essentially just like infamously stupid, bad, otherwise dull moments. Yes, okay. Head upstairs. Okay, yes, fine. Yeah, infamously, bad, stupid, or terrible, either just moments in shows or in some cases shows altogether. Well, David Hammond suggested for tonight that we could go that route a little bit, but we kind of changed it up just a little bit. As the topic says, we're discussing Gone in 13 Weeks. So what I want for all of us to do in this is to bring up, and again, you could bring this up for either good reasons or bad reasons, whatever the case is. So this could even be a show that you really liked, but any shows that, as for whatever reason, they just didn't take an audience and they didn't go beyond their initial 13-week or less episode order for whatever reason. And here, Matt, I'll throw the ball over to you first, because believe me, I got plenty of suggestions. I can go all night if possibly, but I'll start with you. What's one show that you particularly remember or had a fondness for, or whatever that didn't last beyond 13 weeks?
Yeah, for me personally, I'm going to go right for the jugular with the worst game show I've ever seen, The Chamber.
Oh, okay, because that only lasted 3 weeks, didn't it?
Yes, it was a show from Fox in 2002 that was rushed to air to compete with ABC's The Chair, a similar concept. Which in itself was very short-lived. Yes, both game shows embodied the concept of testing the contestants' minds and bodies while keeping calm under pressure, providing them a lot of distractions, or, in the Chamber's case, nearly killing someone.
Yeah, and for those not familiar, explain the killing element, as you call it.
Well, the Chamber involved the game starts with two contestants competing in a face-off, naming items off a list, a la tic-tac-doe's seesaw category. The winner of that face-off goes into the chamber, a steel casing that operates in two modes, hot and cold. They'll be strapped to a chair, wearing only their exercise clothes, with a lot of monitors on them, monitoring their heart rate, blood pressure, among other things. In the hot chamber, the temperatures will increase as time goes on, fire gets blasted, the chair starts to rotate, foul odors are blasted, rates are stimulated, and in the cold chamber, it starts at freezing, then it gets down below zeros, starts to blow, form snow, and while all this is going on, the contestants are asked general knowledge questions at $1,000 a pop. If they get 2 or more questions wrong, the game's over and they forfeit half the money, or if the doctors feel that they're in any danger, if they want to stop the chamber, then the game gets stopped with the contestants leaving with only half the money. And what makes it the worst game show, for my money, is the fact that first of all, it was cheap. All that torture they were going through was only for $1,000 a pop and a top prize of only $75,000. The host, Rick Schwartz, talked too much. There was barely any time for him to get in questions. He kept talking while they were wrong. And also the conditions of the chamber themselves were nearly deadly, like in the cold chamber when they're in a room that's negative 20 degrees with only exercise clothes on. One contestant had to be hospitalized afterwards, and after almost getting hypothermia, and eventually sued the network and got $100,000 off it. As if we've ever come to seeing someone seriously get hurt or almost killed on a game show.
Yeah, there's certain things like you could compare to to like some of the other physical shows, like for instance with Ninja Warrior, which we talked about all the time and stuff like that, and even Wipeout, the ABC did for several years. That okay, those are physical. Yeah, they can have a tendency to to smack you around and stuff like that, but there's no torture involved in those shows at all. It's just plain stunts, and you beat the stunts, you beat the stunts. If you don't, you don't. But it's not a question that you're not usually putting yourself in any kind of major life danger by doing these sorts of things. The chamber was a whole other different story, and in the opinions of many, it's probably glad that it only lasted three Sundays, and that was it. Paul, you in agreement on that?
I'm just fact checking about the whole lawsuit situation, but yeah. Oh dear God, this show. Oh my God, I remember it. I got the facts of the whole game now, and it wasn't really like I get what Fox was trying to do. The top prize potentially could have been $126,000 according to Wikipedia, but it's still kind of bad. Like, you're damn near almost going to kill someone. The few times I actually did watch the show, I actually saw the contestant get stopped. And it's like, what is the purpose of the show if at any point in time, somebody else can go ahead and say, yeah, you don't get to play anymore? And I'm like, okay, that's just weird. I didn't even realize I was on for 3 weeks. I was actually, I remember.
Yeah, that was that short, yep.
Yeah, I actually was going on ahead and trying to turn in, like, okay, when are we going to go? And yeah, this was bad.
Interesting. And since I said it was competing with the chair, actually, the producers of both shows filed lawsuits against one another saying that they were copycats of one another, but that never went anywhere.
But the chair was pretty much the same show, except that they depend on, no. The show was time-based. That's the only difference between these two shows. Whereas opposed to the chamber, you have to sit there and answer questions for about, I forgot whatever the predetermined amount of time it was. Whereas the chamber was like, look, if we get your heartbeat going too hard, we're going to start docking you. And we're going to start docking you by a lot. And the moment that just totally hits 0, you lose.
At least it had that concept of keeping calm under pressure, which is what we often have trouble doing when we're speaking publicly.
But there were some people that got on the chamber. I'm sorry, those are people that got on the chair that completely broke the system. I mean, it went on ahead. They measured their vitals, and then they gave up some god awful high amount. And I'm just there like, but her pulse right now is getting nowhere near as high. So she could sit there and guess all this time. Like, it was really, really kind of bad.
Yeah,
both shows had flaws. I think the chamber had more flaws than the other.
Yeah, the people who had a very low beats per minute measurement usually had the advantage there.
Perhaps so, yeah. Either way, both shows bringing new meaning to the old phrase, your money or your life, right? So
Right.
So who knows with that, however. Okay, but yeah, trust me, folks. That's definitely one that whatever few clips exist of that on YouTube, that might be one you definitely want to avoid. So, like I said, 3 shows and done is what it was back in 2002. So that's the way that played out. All right, okay. Here, Paul, your turn in there. What's a show that you particularly remember that, like I said, came and gone in the blink of an eye?
$1 Million Money Game from ABC. Like,
okay, then, all right. Elliot just briefly referenced that during Smash or Trash $1 Million Mind Game. All right,
yeah,
so here, explain that one for the unfamiliar.
So the $1 Million Mind Game is pretty much based off of a Russian game where it's a group of people will be asked a question, something really obscure, and it'll be the team's goal to go on ahead and try to determine what the object in question is. The game played out in a kind of a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire-ish kind of way, where the more questions you got correct, the more dollar amounts you can win. However, the questions become really, really, really obscure as time went on. There were helps in the sense that each question was timed. One help was that you get to go ahead and take a second shot at the same question. Another help would give you more time to go ahead and think about it. And then the other help would be what is outright passing this question altogether to move on. Much like other game shows, you can never stop being on a pass. So you have to get the question correct before you go ahead and stop. This show aired briefly on a weird time slot on ABC. I think they aired on ABC 7 at first, and then it went nationally. But it was really weird. ABC just seemed to have thrown it up there to supplant the wide world of sports and the offseason of college football, and it literally got no kind of traction because no one knew about it. Like the only reason why I even knew about it is because I just happened to find it on Saturdays.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think it was Sunday afternoons at like
4 o'clock on Sunday.
So it was up against the NFL. Which made no sense whatsoever. They pretty much had ABC had pretty much no faith in it from the beginning. So they just taped these 6 episodes and they just and they just found a spot to just let them go rot. The problem is it's too bad for them that they wasted what really was a very good cerebral contest. I was highly intrigued with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, smart shows on major networks don't work. Look at The Mole.
I gotta admit, I personally was not a mole watcher myself. I used to have a friend who was. So
who was it?
Yeah, you know full well, Robert. You remember? Yeah, he used to be a mole fan.
Oh,
So
is that who I used to always hide my face?
yes, him. So be that as it may, but now here, Elliot, you mentioned $1 Million Mind Game first. You were saying before, like what was it that you really enjoyed with regards to it?
Well, I'm one of those people that like to do these. There's games. These things were actually puzzles more than they were trivia questions. They were actually more puzzles to solve and riddles. And what I would do is I would tape the show, then I would play it back, and then I would actually stop the tape after the question is gone, and gave myself as much time as I need. Could I figure out this puzzle? And then once I either decided I knew it or gave up, but usually the earlier, a lot of the questions I did actually get right. And then some of them I just had no idea, but then as soon as someone would come up with a part of a clue, that, oh yeah, that's what it means.
Yeah, to give you and here just to give you folks an idea of the kind of questions and puzzles that they asked on the show here. I'm looking at an episode that's on YouTube right now because this was on in 2011, so this was a few years ago. Here's an example of one of the puzzles that they gave. In 2009, an Ohio State University website offered 2 tips to make game days more environmentally friendly. If you change the first 2 letters of the first tip, you'll get the second tip. So what are the 2 tips that they gave?
When they say game day, do they mean, are they talking sports or are they talking?
Yeah, I think they, yeah, because this is Ohio State University, so I imagine they're talking about college football day on Saturdays. An Ohio State University website offered 2 tips to make game days more environmentally friendly. If you change the first 2 letters of the first tip, you'll get the second tip. So the team will deliberate the question for a minute, and then they'll make their decision as to what it is. Bicycle and recycle. Very good.
Bicycle.
Cute.
Recycle.
I get it. Yeah, take the bike to the game and just make sure you recycle your trash. So the kind of puzzles that they did, they could be as simple as those type of things. But yeah, and of course they get a lot more cerebral as they go on. However,
Right.
Yeah, there was one episode where the guy, the second to last question was worth 600,000, and the final question was for $1 million.
Yes.
They got the 600. Everyone except for one guy wanted to go for that. There's only that one guy on the
right,
team.
exactly. Yes, I remember that too. And the guy was even saying,
just like on was Chuck Woolery's agreed. One guy wanted to go for the
big prize. Right, exactly.
Yes.
$1
I remember that. I remember one of those episodes really well, where it's like everybody else bailed out on him, and he faced the final question agreed by himself, and he got it wrong.
Yeah, that was like, darn well that the top prize in any of these game shows is unobtainable. It was the liberty meant there just to make you want to try for it, but anyone with half a brain and in as far as knowing how these shows are produced knows not to take the dare into that last question, because that's where it's designed for you to lose.
Yeah, that's why Brad Rutter, with all his experience, knew that.
Right, exactly. Jeopardy champion Brad Rutter, he competed on the show with a team. As soon as they got the next to last question and had the 600,000, they chose not to go for the $1 million. They bailed and took $100K each. But yeah, that team that Elliot referenced or whatever, that just had a team where there was this one guy on the team that midway through the game, he was saying several times over, you might as well disconnect my red button that says I want to end the game, because I'm going all the way for the $1 million no matter what anybody else on the team says. And everybody was cringing over every decision, hoping, praying they change his mind.
Yeah,
but no.
But you know what? I don't think he made it past the parking lot with the rest of his team.
Who knows? Well, hopefully they worked their way past that. So
yeah.
So that's where it is there. Okay. So all right. So Paul and Elliot, in your case, all right. So you guys have the pitch there for $1 Million Mind Game. Okay. So I'm gonna bring a suggestion. Actually, for this next one, I got a pair that we're gonna bring in, because these 2 shows both came and went together in the 13-week time frame that they were allotted. Both of these shows on the same network in, I think, back-to-back time slots. And this goes back to the classic game show renaissance days, in a sense. It's January 1983, and NBC decides to get in your face with a brand new lineup of game shows debuting that day. They debuted 3 new shows on that infamous January day. One of them would last 6.5 years. That, of course, being Sale of the Century.
Yep.
The other 2, with vastly different concepts, were gone by April Fool's Day. We're talking about Hitman. What? We're talking about Hitman and Just Men. So I'll start with Hitman, because I think out of the 2, it's one that more people know and probably like a bit more. What are you holding there, Elliot?
I actually had that page open of the 1983 game show. That was
you found that in the
I had
impressive
that
hit
open
did you?
before he even mentioned, long before he even gave the year. I had this open like the past 20 minutes at that page of
Gotcha.
1983. I said, I'm looking at Hitman, and then I'm looking at a later one down there. Go. I was actually thinking about Hitman and Go. I didn't care too much.
Yeah.
I didn't think about Just Men, but
Go didn't
Go
quite
was later,
make
but
the
that was
cut. Yeah.
also the 13 week. That was 13.
Go didn't quite make the cut of this. Yeah, because Go technically lasted 16 weeks, so it just beat the cut of being considered for tonight. So, but anyway, but just to give you to give the uninitiated an idea of the thing here, and this time I'll do the screen share so that everybody can see it there. All right. Basically, the idea behind the show. But you stop that. Why is my window doing that? Paul, why is my window doing that? Anyway,
Just be happy
I'll do
it's
it
right
this way.
side up.
Oh, okay. Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, but just so that everybody has a clear idea of the basis. So the idea behind Hitman, it was pretty much a game of instant recall. Basically, what you see there is that the contestants are presented a story about a particular subject, which is narrated by host Peter Tamarkin. It was his first national game show. In this case, the still pictures that you're seeing are all the story is all about Marlon Brando's film career. So basically, there'll be a lot of facts presented within the story. It's then the contestant's job when Peter asks the questions to try to buzz in first and remember exactly the details of the story. So like in this thing with Marlon Brando, you're remembering the different movies that he was in. Like for instance, they're talking here about when he was in the remake of Mutiny on the Bounty, and that the movie was such a flop. He became known as box office poison, and thusly appeared in failure after failure for 10 years until The Godfather came along, and the story goes on from there. So you got to remember these little details throughout the story. Now, the way they played the game, the setup of the game, as you see, the players are buzzing in. They're trying to race their way up a track and try to get so many firsts before their opponents. 2 of the 3 in the first round will survive. They'll go on to face the returning champion in the second round with another story, and the elimination contest there works a little bit different. And I'll explain in a second why this contestant is hanging your head in shame. For those not familiar, I'll explain in a minute. So the way the second round works, it works as a bit of a different elimination. Some people had some contention with regards to this. The champ plays the red that you see in the middle. You can see she has 7 of those hitmen presented there. The one challenger has 4 hitmen and the other has 3. That's based on where they finished in the first rounds. The idea being that the champion only faces 1 challenger at a time, alternating between challengers every time they can get a challenger to lose one of their hitmen. So the champion wins by taking out all 7 of the challenger's men. If the champ's hitmen get wiped out, it's the challenger that's in control at the time that wins the game. So the infamous part of that is you could get the one challenger could get stuck in a situation where they could get on a roll, do all the hard work, and knock out 5 or 6 of the champ's hitmen and get them down to just 1 or 2. And if they slip up on that one question, the other challenger could swoop in and finish the job and win the game.
Yeah, that was a major flaw in the game. I think the other 2 players should then fight it out with what they got. I always thought that was a stupid rule. The other 2 players should be a last man standing game.
Perhaps so. Matt, you agree on that one?
Yeah, 100%. If Hitman would have been A+ if they had that rule of last man standing.
Yeah, perhaps so. But do you think it fair in the proper sense that the champ starts with a man advantage?
Exactly. No, the champ had 70. It's the first. There wasn't the champ that had the one. There was no one man. I think you mean the player that won that came in first in round one had the one man advantage.
Right, and the idea is, yeah, if you combine the challengers two groups of hitmen with the champs, you see that it's a 7-on-7 fight. So it's meant to be even. So the champ's job is to get 7 right before they get beat 7 times. So you get the element of it in that perspective.
It's even in that sense, yes.
Yeah. So that's the way that plays out. And then to whoever wins the game or whatever, that person then goes on into the bonus game where they face the Triple Crown. The idea is that their back will be to the board. You see how all the columns have a different number of circles. The idea is that each column represents how many answers they have to get correct in a row in order to claim the column. And they have to claim 3 columns in a minute. The questions that they answer can come from either of the 2 stories that were played during the show. So it's important for the champion who's off backstage to still listen to the first story because they may still have to answer questions from it. Impersonating the music, are you?
Yes.
Yeah. So and like I said, they can't see how many things are in each one. So they could be lucky and pick like number 7 where there's only 1 circle there, or they might get stuck and pick the one that has 5 and have to work the way. Either way, no matter what, you gotta just try to keep blitzing answers as quick as you possibly can. But apart from that flaw in the second rounds, though, let me see. Paul, how much of Hitman had you seen before?
I seen a few of the episodes aired on YouTube, and I can kind of see, like I'm looking at this, and I know Scott's not here, but Scott was trying to talk me into, adding this into the mix. I'm just there, like, I am not adding this thing in any way, shape, or form, because no.
Oh, you're talking about adding this for our operation.
Right, and he proposed it to me, and I said, absolutely freaking not. I'm not doing it. No.
Greg tried once. He tried once to do it. It was very quirky at best. I get a feeling it's not going to see much in the way of legs. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to come. It's not going to be that great. Like, it's good in theory. It's just that final round is what weirds me out, and that I just think kills the entire game and everything.
Right. Exactly. So that was the basis of that. But in any event, though, Hitman had its infamousy or whatever, however you say the word. What for some reason I can't speak.
Moment at the end of the last episode, I saw.
Okay, well, wait. That's one. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll get to that. The episode, but first, the episode in question that I queued up had an infamous moment in its own right, and it had to do with that Marlon Brando story. There was a line that Peter Tamarkin read in the narrative that was explaining that they explained about Marlon Brando's first movie role, The Men, and it was saying how he played excellent. He portrayed his role as a paraplegic excellently in the film, but he was not given an Oscar nomination. And the way it was written in Peter's story, it was said perhaps the reason he didn't get the Oscar nomination was because he wouldn't play the Hollywood gay. That's how it was written. Okay. Well, apparently the one female contestant that you saw in the blue chair during the first round, you saw her hang her head briefly on 2 separate questions during the first round. She was asked a question about just something else within the story, and for some reason she came back to that gay word. like they were saying in On the Waterfront, Brando played an ex what? Buzz in quick. Gay. And needless to say, it silenced the studio for a moment before everybody broke into hysterics both times. Peter was like, "Do you know something about Marlon Brando we don't know?"
Oh, you mean she was confusing G-A-N-G with G-A-Y?
Well, no, wait. It said in the narrative, the Hollywood gay. It did say G-A-Y, but obviously they meant gay back then in terms of like you know you know
Like having a gay old time.
free spirited, fun loving,
Okay.
happy smiles and that kind of thing and stuff like that. Not gay the way we use the word gay now. So yeah, when gay used to mean happy, basically.
Yes,
So,
as in the gay 1890s, not the gay
exactly. Yes.
90s. Two totally different things.
Yes, exactly. So that was that. And then now, and here, Elliot, I'll let you throw it in there. You mentioned, yeah, that's true.
The last episode, yeah. I was in 1983. There were a lot of snow days in school, so I got to stay home to see a lot of these episodes firsthand, and I was like 12 years old, so it was like really awesome.
Did you actually see the final episode of Hitman as it originally aired?
That was actually it was another snow day. Believe it or not, it was a Monday, April 1st. I think it was a Friday, April 1st. Either Easter weekend or it was a snow day, one or the other.
Right.
But I remember walking there. I see him standing there, saying a lot of this. If you'd like to be a contestant on Hitman, forget it.
Because that's one of those folks that obviously, if you for those out there, if you watch a lot of classic game shows, from back in the day, and there's plenty of clips on YouTube that you can find, then obviously they would put out calls for contestants. If you want to be a contestant on such and such show, send in a postcard to this address and so like that. And Hitman was no exception. Yeah. So Hitman was no exception. But on what ended up being the last day of the show, which that day was won by future All-Star Game Show announcer Randy West. He was the champion on the final episode. They came back from the final break, and Peter was the only one on stage, and that was Rod Roddy's big announcement, as Elliot just said. If you would like to be a contestant on Hitman, forget it. And that's when Peter had to give the goodbyes for the show and explain that it was indeed the end. So probably no game show in history, no matter how long it went, probably had as interesting a send-off as Hitman did for that specific reason. And I think we can all agree on that, yes?
Yeah, I think there might have been one or two other game shows that had interest. Oh, yeah. There was another game show that had an even better send-off, and that was Rhyme or Reason. Another one that I saw.
I figured you were going to bring up Rhyme and Reason.
Yes,
but we'll bring.
I saw that one live also. And that was like
I can probably imagine. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Save that one in pocket for another night. We'll get into that one in a little more detail sometime later. All right. So that was Hitman. Now the other one that came and went with it in the same 13 weeks. This was a very weird show. Just Men. This was show. It was hosted by Betty White, and she became in this. In the show, she became the first female game show host to win an Emmy for her work on the show. Although a lot of people really think that she got the Emmy more from the perspective of that she was a female hosting a game show and not anything about the quality of the game actually itself. So, but the show was weird in this perspective. And again, I'll share the screen here just so as soon as I can get to the button and just show an idea of what it looks like there. So basically, what you see is that you got two female contestants competing, and you have seven you have 7 male celebrities that are gracing the stage, and Betty is giving each of them a car key. The object is that the players are trying to capture as many of the celebrities and their keys as possible, and then to hopefully pick one of the keys that they captured and see if it starts the car so that they can win. But the way they get
the car?
Yeah, but the way they get the keys is that the game plays more like a talk show in a sense. It's kind of like how when you watch like either Oprah Winfrey back in the day or Phil Donahue or things like that, where the host would go to the audience and you know, have them ask questions to the guests on stage or whatever the case is. That's pretty much what happened here. They give a topic. And I just want to see if I can get a thing in the topic there. Okay. All right. So the question that before the show here, okay, they asked all 7 of the celebrities, all right, do you consider yourself a health food nut? And at least 2 of them said yes. So what the contestants will do is they'll get 40 seconds, the one contestant in control will get 40 seconds to interview these celebrities. They can ask them questions of any kind in any order that they choose, and based on their responses, they have to try to find one of the people that said either yes or said no. If they guess correctly, they earn their key. And the majority of the game pretty much plays in some format like that. But it's just, but I mean, so I mean, let me ask you guys. So like, it's like Matt, what do you find this kind of thing of mixing a talk show and a game show weird in any sense?
Talk show and a game show, considering we've had a number of talk show hosts being game show hosts, it's not unusual anymore.
Daddy,
I'm looking at Steve Harvey.
can you please move your leg?
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, you've got that element going with it. Yes,
really,
yeah. Steve Harvey can pretty much accomplish both right now if he wanted to.
I really think this concept could have worked if you just mixed genders and if you didn't necessarily limit it to female contestants and male celebrities. I think they were just trying too hard to appeal to daytime audiences, and you're really going to alienate 50% of the audience here. I mean, and trying to predict the outcome. Basically a yes or no question from a celebrity. We've seen that before with other shows like Mind Readers, Card Sharks, among other things. But you do have to give Just Men credit. It was really Split Second that started the trend of starting a car in the bonus round.
Right.
But the production company did recycle this bonus round for Hollywood Squares.
In a sense, yeah. Oh yeah. Was this the same company or?
Yes, same producers.
Ah, okay. Well, they knew a good thing when they had it, I guess. So.
I mean, really, as everybody said, the lone bright spot is Betty White with her good-natured interviewing sense and nice sense of humor. She really took notes from her husband and took the Emmy away with pride.
Yes, the late great Alan Ludden, God rest his soul and all that. You see the basics of how the game worked and things like that. So that's there. Paul, what do you think with regards to this format? Obviously, we could never get away with doing something like this if we wanted to.
I suggested it.
Please don't give Scott any ideas.
No, don't worry. Again, I'll talk to you after the show.
No. Oh God. So on the concept of it being just an all guys show, I guess this is made for the homemakers who stayed at home.
Right.
And
yeah.
it's something to watch on TV. I guess that's what NBC was going for. So it wasn't really meant for, and I hate using these terms like this, but it wasn't really meant for men to go ahead and watch. It was more like for the ladies to go ahead and see all their favorite males celebrities that they idolize on like daytime soap TV or daytime TV. Because I saw on the clip that just showed they had the guy from Fantasy Island on there.
Hervé Villachez, yeah.
Right, and I can kind of see the appeal that was for. I can also see the point of this show was not going to work after a certain point because of what was going on. Like, I looking at this, I can see that this was not meant to be like Price is Right length shows. Like, this is just, we have spare time on our schedule. Let's put this up there.
Yeah, because wasn't this on head-to-head against Price?
What show was it on head-to-head against Price?
Let's
Yeah,
take a look.
Yeah, because I think it had an 11:30 a.m. time slot. I think Just Men did. If memory serves me, which meant it would have been on head-to-head with Price, because Price had the whole 11 o'clock hour by that point, and essentially was killing everything.
I don't have a time slot on here. I just have a day.
You're researching in the encyclopedia?
Yeah, this thing doesn't give you time slots. It just gives you the days.
The show aired at 12 noon Eastern, like many game shows in this time slot suffered because of
it had the noon time slot.
Oh yeah, that's
it. That could be even worse.
News, yeah. Price. Well, the thing is, when you weren't taking away from Price, you were actually gaining what Price. If Price was on, people might actually want to turn to this if they weren't interested in the 12 o'clock news.
Yeah, Wikipedia's quoting it as a problem. It had a problem with that time slot because many of the affiliates, like Matt just said, they wanted to air their news program, which I can go ahead and make arguments against that, even in certain But
by the late 70s and especially into the early 80s, that became more of a habit type of thing that a lot of networks preferred to do that. So 12 and 12:30 time slot game shows really suffered, because of it. Probably the only exception to the rule that I could possibly think of would have to be probably Super Password, which sat in the noon time slot for 4.5 years and did its thing. The ratings were never spectacular, but it held enough of an audience.
Unless you were in Philly, what they did was NBC moved a lot of its game shows to the 2:30, like at the 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. slots, and they worked out really well there. Or at least for me, because I got to go home right after high school. It took me. I got out of high school at 2:55. I would walk home fast enough that I could still get to see the first sprint round. So I lived about 12-minute walk, but I walked fast.
They didn't have a TV.
I walked fast, so I got.
Yeah. Matt, you were saying what? A TV in the senior lounge?
Yeah.
No, we didn't have that kind of a perk in my high school.
Not back then, anyway.
No,
dancing was
1984, 85.
Yeah.
85.
You know what, Elliot? You sound like me when I was in grade when I was still in grade school. I lived like a couple of blocks away from where my grade school was. I had to go through the park and through the backwoods to get to the school. I walked each day or whatever, and I remember that this is the late 80s or just turn of the 90s. That I'm trying to sprint home as soon as the 2:30 bell hit so that I could see the USA reruns and things like that. So no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know the feeling. I went through it myself. So
yeah, no, I had to actually go through city. Mild city traffic wasn't like going down the streets of New York, but it was still enough that you had to go across a couple of heavier streets. But I knew a lot of more like back alleys. I knew all the quiet back alleys. I usually would take those. Not the dark alleys like.
We get
that bad. Not that bad. It was
of course. No. We would not expect you to risk life.
There was no street gangs in Allentown.
Yeah. Trust me, Elliot. Trust me. No life is worth losing over to see if somebody wins $10,000 for knowing things that are deep.
This was not that. Yeah, this was not that bad of a town.
Right, exactly.
This is Allentown, not New York. I know where not to go in Allentown. My area was okay. There's very few not to go places in Allentown back then.
Yeah. And hey, since we're talking about an NBC show, thanks to Elliot's PSA, the more you know. What the hey? Let's slide in the plug while we're there. So, why not? So, excuse me there. Got a little congestion I'm trying to get over here. Okay, so all right, so here real quick. So we got about 10 minutes here. We got time for one more. Let me see. Anybody else want to throw another short-lived suggestion out there? We'll use this one as our wrap up.
Well, I'll go for the yin and the yang. I gave you the worst short-lived on my list, and now I'll give you the best short-lived name on my list. It goes to 2007 to GSN, their one-time special, seeing who the Avenger of Game Show Champions is, Grand Slam.
I'll give you that.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I forgot about that one. Yeah. Yeah, I remember David was saying he came in to tonight if he was able to be here. We got to find out what the heck happened to Dave. He came in with the premise when he came up with this topic that he wanted to try to avoid any of the the turkeys that GSN had or whatever. But if you never got to see Grand Slam out there, folks, this was hardly a turkey by any means. It was the tournament to end all tournaments if you are a game show purist, because this was a show that brought back from all of the years that game shows had been on, brought back 16 of the genre's biggest winners between various games of trivia, luck, word games, pop culture, you name it, whatever it was. So many of the greats were there, including Ken Jennings and Brad Rutter, as well as several of the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire champions. Tic-Tac-Toe's Tom McKee from way back in the day competed in it and things like that. And they competed in a single elimination tournament for a $100,000 grand prize in a contest that the trivia involved here was very mixed and eclectic. It wasn't just straight up face-off trivia. They involved word puzzles, number puzzles, and a lot of different other forms of logic. So they really kept you mentally on your toes and kept all facets of your brain working. It was based on, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, it was based on a British concept, right?
Yes. Another show that lasted for one season. And one of the contestants on that one was Mark Labette.
Ah, the beast from The Chase.
Yes.
Yes. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, though. In the British version, the people who competed in their Grand Slam had to actually pony up some of the winnings that they made from their game show past, correct?
Well, it was only 1,000 pounds, and hence the name Grand Slam.
Oh, that's now I get it. Now I get the hook. Yeah, but I don't think our guys did that though. Correct? I don't recall reading anywhere that our champions had to do that.
Well, considering if Boston Rob can't get contestants to pony up their life savings for a tontine, GSN can't get them either.
So who knows there? Yeah, but it was definitely very interesting to see the face off, and I have to say they picked the perfect person to be the question moderator for the thing, because at the time that this was going on, VH1 was busy having 2 seasons worth of success with their World Series of Pop Culture, and their moderator Pat Kiernan, who works very well with the contestants in reading the questions and stuff like that. You never saw Pat on camera on Grand Slam, but he would be rapid firing these questions back and forth between the players in as quick a manner as possible. Paul, did you ever get a chance to see the Grand Slam tournament?
I saw bits. I saw the finals. I actually enjoyed the back and forth format of it. Some people think that that's how Who's Still Standing should have gone as regards to how the game actually ended up playing out.
Yeah, gotcha. Actually, you know what? That would be very interesting. I could see that type of that type of setup working there. That I could imagine that being an interesting enough format there. And just so everybody real quick can get a visual here, I'll do my screen share one more time, just so you can see it there. So you can see like here was a piece from the final match where Ken Jennings competed against Who Wants to Be a Millionaire's Ogie Ogus. You can see they have a minute on the clock. When one person's answering, their clock counts down. As soon as they get a question right, it goes to the other player until they get a question right, and it keeps on going back. Whoever loses their minute first loses the round. The other person retains the time on their clock to use when they get to the final rounds of the game. And there's multiple rounds that are played prior to the final face-off. Those green arrows you see represent what are called switches. If you want to take the pressure off yourself for a minute, you can challenge your opponent to answer the question by yelling out "switch" at any point in time, and then they have to answer. Now, granted, if they have switches, they can throw it right back to you. Sometimes the two contestants used up all their switches just continuously throwing the question back and forth to each other. So it was all strategy on how you wanted to use it. So there was a lot of mental taxing that went on during the course of this game. And it's definitely a good watch if you really consider yourselves trivia experts out there, folks. Yeah, have a look at this and see how well you would stand up, not just to the trivia that you see here, but like I said, to see the word puzzles. They did math and logic puzzles in some rounds as well. So it was all very interesting and unusual.
They did. I think they generally broke it down into a round count of like round one, round two was math, round three was like history and stuff like that. One of the cool things about it was the final round was always all inclusive, and the way how the end
game all the rounds together.
All the rounds, yeah.
Right.
All the rounds.
And the way how that final round worked was whatever time was remaining on the clock in the previous rounds was added onto the base timer. If you had any passes, those passes still get added on, plus they give you an additional bonus one just in case. If I remember right, I think Jennings won that one.
Yeah, he did win the tournament, correct.
Against Augie, right?
Was him.
Yeah, like I said, it was Ken versus Ogie in the finals, yeah.
Yeah. The man who defeated Brad.
Yeah, that's right. Ogie defeated Brad in the quarterfinals, to make it that far or whatever. And I had to admit, I personally thought when I saw that match, knowing that Ogie came into this tournament really a very PO'd man because he was still mad at himself for the year before, not going for the $1 million question on Millionaire. This was, I felt like it was his purpose to try to win this tournament. So I was saying, be very afraid, Ken. He's going to sneak up on you and get you, but he didn't. So, but either way, all right. So, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but still, I suggest out there watch Grand Slam and enjoy it, and even take a better look at some of the other short-lived shows that we talked about. This game show universe offers a lot of different perspectives on what makes a good game, and hey, as short-lived as it is, you might actually enjoy some of the ones that we presented tonight. I hope the Chamber is not one of them, though. So anyway, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us. So I thank you, Matt and Elliot. I'm glad you were able to jump in.
That's what I was
okay. Well, Duel got 2 seasons at least, so that one beats the cut. 13. So.
That added up to less than 13 weeks of shows, though.
Well, we're talking about calendar.
We'll check the math later. Yeah, right. We'll check the math out later and see there. So we'll figure it out. So we'll see what happens with that. So all right. So next time we're gonna do this. Let's see. I'm just trying to do the count. Actually, what's interesting, it's the 16th now. The next scheduled Game Show Talkin' Fun would be for December 16th because it'll be back on Friday night and things like that. So we'll see what our Christmas theme is going to be and stuff like that. Don't quite know just yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. In the meantime, guys, you know what?
The video has one viewer.
Well, hopefully we have more watching on the outside or whatever. So, so those of you out there on YouTube, you know what to do. If you enjoyed the show tonight, you want to see us do more things like that, you know to hit that subscribe button down there, like this video. Catch us over for more news on Facebook at facebook.com/LostSilverProductions, and maybe during the Thanksgiving weekend we'll try. Yes, yeah, your favorite with Fizzy Toy Show. Subscribe. Here we are promoting another channel. Yes, and definitely, if you like the site, please, we want to make it to 100 subscribers because we want to customize that URL up there. So help us out, folks. We're at 71. We want to get to 100 in quick order. So help us out in that regard.
Yeah.
So, all right. And again, those of you in the New Jersey area, Edison, New Jersey, this Saturday and Sunday at New Jersey Comic-Con, we'll be there with our shows. So, okay, all right. We got to cut this. All right. So on behalf of Mr. Upside Down Show himself, Paul Williams, all right, and our good friends Elliot Schiff and Matthew Wojcik, thank you guys for joining us. My name is Brian Sapinski, and remember, if it's game shows in reality, you'll find it here on Game Show Talking Fun. Take care. We'll see you guys very soon.
Bye-bye.
Happy birthday.
Bye-bye.